Talking about great characters, you know, I'm sure actors always think, how can I stretch my acting exercise in a completely different way? This is such a blessing of a role because you're able to do things that are completely new and nuanced at the same time.
Oh yeah, I can't think of anything that would push you, that would be more challenging than playing an ape in this movie. I mean, it really was a daunting experience. Let alone the character alone is just a great character. He's that great on the page, you know, and then on top of that to become a chimpanzee was really incredible.
Had you done mocap before, or is that the first experience? And you have to translate it into how they're going to draw it. So tell us a little bit about how you discovered the whole process and how challenging was it for you?
Yeah, well, they don't do anything. You know, the technical people on set, Weta, who's doing the motion capture, are really trying to get out of your way. They want to just make it as comfortable for you because they need you to do your performance. They need you to become an ape.
Yeah.
Without anything in your way. How can we make it easy for you? How can, is the helmet too tight? The only thing they can do is in post, right? After you've performed, and make you look like an ape. So that scene that you have with someone has to work with dots on your face, with a camera and a backpack. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
it has
all
to
about
be
the
moving.
Expression, yeah.
Yeah, but it has to be. You have to see the producer sitting behind the monitors crying if that's appropriate, right? And when they are, and they're like, "Oh my God, that was beautiful," you know you've got it, and you can move on to the next thing because. And Weta is happy too because they're like, "Oh, great, it worked as a scene. I felt that. Now we can paint you in."
Yeah, no, I think it's quite an extraordinary experience.
It really is. And then
yeah.
to work that hard on something, and to really not even think about looking like a chimp. I mean, you work for months on it. I don't even think about like I'm going to look like, and then you go away, and then you come back to do some reshoots or whatever, and they show you your rendering of your ape, and it's a really incredible experience to see that.
How did you feel when you saw Bad Ape at the first time on screen as an audience member?
I was it was moving. Just, it's hard to explain. It was, I can't, just to see the final product. I was so proud. I was so yeah. Ask Matt. Matt showed me a version of the scene. He's like, "Do you want to see your ape?" I was like, "Yeah." And I watched it. I was like, "Oh my God." It's really cool.
And it's absolutely unique to see a movie that is, in essence, a big blockbuster movie, but it really centers around the complexity and the emotional complexities of all those characters. I think this is what makes it so rare and unique and relatable for me anyway.
Right. You're right. I mean, it's really simple movie making. It's really simple storytelling, right? You have to be invested in characters in order for people to feel. Right? So many times these big movies are strung together with moments that don't reflect life. They reflect other movies and other moments in other movies, right? Oh, this is where the music swells. But if you don't care about the characters, who cares, right?
Very true.
This is you have to be patient enough to tell the story. Can't have people rushing to the next explosion. You can put as many explosions as you want in 3 hours. You can add an hour. It doesn't matter unless you care.
Very true.
Pretty one-on-one stuff, isn't it?
Do you have memories of watching the first Planet of the Apes, and how do you feel technology and storytelling has changed since then?
Well, it's changed dramatically. I mean, those were suits that they had to move their faces to actually move the suit. But the storytelling was the same, right? You were invested in all those characters. You knew the apes. You knew what apes were the warriors and which ones were smart and empathetic. You knew where Charlton Heston was coming from. It was a simple story that everyone could relate to. That's why it's popular, right?
Very true.
That's why. And that's why it's still popular.